Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Fischer, CEO of InkSpace Imaging. At InkSpace Imaging, we are transforming the MRI industry with a groundbreaking new coil technology. And MRI is a gold standard in diagnostics, diagnostic imaging. So it's a standard tool used 100 million times annually around the world. And it strongly depends on what's called MRI receive coils. Those are responsible to capture the imaging data required for the diagnostics. So the coil technology we have developed makes everything more lightweight and flexible, and as a result, you see that images can be acquired much faster with a higher accuracy at a better comfort level for the patient and much better cost effectiveness for the patient. So originally, the company started with a focus on pediatric patients, and they are the least served patient in any hospital, we think. And you see in an old setup how it's typically done. There's a bridge, they throw an adult coil on it. Typically, the children get sedated, and that's obviously all suboptimal. So, but meanwhile, fast forward, we have multiple products cleared on different platforms for both pediatric and adult patients, and have strategic collaborations already going on with GE and especially Siemens. I'll get to that a little during the pitch here. And get an extremely well support, and the coils are very well received at hospitals. So what's the problem in the market? Existing MRI receive coils are designed for 6-foot men. That means they do not fit 85% of the population, including children, including smaller people, larger people. So since those coils are typically rigid and heavy, 10 to 20 pounds, they are unflexible, so you get, as a result, lower imaging quality. Patients feel uncomfortable, younger patients need to be sedated, and the whole setup and procedure time takes unnecessarily long. So this is where we come in with a printed electronics-based technology platform, making those coils super lightweight and super flexible. So the pad you see here on the girl weighs less than 1 pound. So as a result, you can scan patients which are very young. The youngest patient scanned in Stanford was 18 hours old, 3 weeks premature. I don't think that you can imagine, unless you had an early born child, how little that is, and how little their organs are, right? If you're talking about congenital heart disease, you're looking at things which are like that big. So quick scans, high spatial resolution, all of that becomes important. So since the coil is so lightweight, you can put it wherever it's required to do the imaging. And then as a second step, since it's so lightweight and super flexible, it always sits snug fit around the body. That generates, as a result, after some physics, better image quality and allows also faster acceleration. And as a result, you can sedate less patients or sedate them at a shorter time and less deep. And then from there, we took it also into the adult market. Since the coil is so versatile, there are great applications I'll demonstrate during the next pages also for adult patients. So here's some feedback from key opinion leaders in the US. Basically, the statement is they have a ton of standard OEM coils available, GE, Siemens, and they still prefer to use our coils, especially for pediatric patients, since they can see things they typically cannot see with MRI. And as a result, if you can see things already earlier, you save those patients other sequential procedures, like as ultrasonic or an additional CT. This, again, for children, includes then a sedation. And here just some examples, an ankle and a spine and some nerve system. And a typical spatial resolution for an MRI coil is at a 1.5 to 2 millimeters. So as you can see, we outperform this by a factor of 8 to 10. And here are some critical examples from the cardiologist here. So in the left sequence, for instance, shows a heart valve of, I think, a 5-year-old, which is not completely closing, which is a critical condition and basically needs correction. And then along the way, while working with key opinion leaders after we got the first products cleared, they also discovered completely new use cases. So this is a 20 weeks pregnant woman, and no sane woman wants to have a 20-pound coil on her belly for obvious reasons, right? So they used our PET since they were interested, first to see the fetus, but also to do brain imaging, and that they got very excited about that. So as we bring the coils into the market and key opinion leaders start exploring and understanding that they can do things they couldn't do before, we find those new opportunities in hospitals. And here's just a little bit of proof of it, like blind wine tasting. They took a standard procedure at a hospital for a scan, which typically took 17 minutes, accelerated it by more than 40%, provided the image data to 10 radiologists and asked them if they can tell the difference, and they couldn't. So a 40% acceleration has two significant impacts. One is a pure throughput consideration in hospitals. So getting 4 more patients through one shift is huge, since $2 to $3 million MRI scanners are always planned as a bottleneck, and most hospitals have patient wait time for that. And the second is, especially for pediatric patients, the anesthesiologist can sedate them less deep and shorter, which is, especially for children, requiring 10, 15 MRI exams every year, for instance, for monitoring for cancer therapy or for monitoring of the congenital heart disease. It's very important to reduce that time. So as I mentioned, we've cleared a few products for 2 different platforms, 3 Tesla and 1.5 Tesla, for 2 of the major OEMs, GE and Siemens. Philips is now very interested as well, so we are covering already the top 3. And we got multiple requests now also to use this technology, which makes it really possible in a 3-dimensional way to create coils you couldn't create before, such as breast coils, for instance, to get those into the market as well. And then as one other business opportunity, which just is currently developing besides the standard imaging, is what we call multimodality application. So anything like high-intensity focused ultrasound, radiation therapy, which needs MR as a guidance. So there, our coil technology is a great fit. We built the first prototype there and got requests for actual product development. And last but not least, I want to mention, also the veterinary market is now very interested in using the exact same product. Right? So the market, the standard diagnostic market, is around about $2 billion. This is just the coils, growing at a nice 6% CAGR. And so we expect $3 billion in 2029. Go-to-market is basically, we're working currently, so we started launching this end of last year. We already see a significant uptick in Q1. We are selling directly to key opinion leader hospitals. We have started to work with IDNs. And we have our own direct sales team, is small with MR experts. But as of last year, I managed also to get us into a supply agreement with the market leader Siemens, and that means their sales team has now started to quote and actually also started to sell our product to hospitals with new systems, but also with the install base. So this is extremely important. The pricing has been validated. We get a nice gross margin on the product, and there are ideas also for further rollouts, but we first focus on the US market here. So over here, we plan a 2.5 to 3x revenue ramp. We have assembled a nice team of experts in the field of MR coil development, MR sales, clinical partnerships, ramping productions, taking technology from lab to fab, but also M&As. And the board includes also our co-founders and very experienced MR-related experts, medical doctors, medical advisory board, obviously. So we have assembled a great team. And latest news is we just cleared another product for Siemens scanners. In 23 days, we got it through a 510K FDA clearance. That's always very impressive also to the OEMs. Philips is pushing hard now. They want 2 more products from us. And for the revenue, we see a nice uptick compared to the last year. So we hope that trend continues, and we're working hard on it. Last week, you might have seen, we just hired a national sales director. She has a very strong background in everything MR, from an MR tech up to sales in the GE and Philips world. And last but not least, I'm here to obviously share that we're having a $10 million round currently open. We've closed already $7.5 million. This will mainly go into product commercialization, some more product development, and pushing that so everyone is welcome to join in here. There are like still $2.5 million left. Thanks a lot for the attention. Yeah, and questions, I'm around here later. And I also have the product here, so if you want to see it. Thank you.